Welcome back. We didn't promise too much. We got both of them here. Jawad to my left,
Hi.
and then Imran to my right.
Yeah.
Congrats, guys. You're both still undefeated.
Yeah.
Very
Thanks.
much well on track to going day 2 for this tournament. The largest European tournament of all time.
Yeah.
So how does that feel?
Feels good.
Feels good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very great.
Okay. You might be playing each other in the next round.
Maybe.
Would
Maybe.
you like to play each other in the next round?
I don't know what deck he's playing, but
Okay.
depending on that, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, a cautious maybe. All right. Jawad, let's start with you first. You were playing against your friend, Jake?
Yeah.
That there was a question mark behind friend.
Yeah, like he's my friend. We were staying in the same hotel room.
Okay,
and
okay.
everything,
You're
so
right. Yeah.
Practice together. and
Luke
everything.
Luke was saying something like that. You tend to hang around together.
Yeah, we traveled together and everything.
Was he mad after the match?
He wasn't mad. He just felt that he might have made a mistake.
Oh, okay.
So there was the way I made the play. I made a when my pendulum summoned just
third
Evolve
game?
Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just pendulum summoned Evolve
He
Flame.
had strike, I think.
Yeah, he had strike. So I pendulum 1 to make him question, because he has so many back row. I think he had the Banish one and the Book of Moon one as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So both of them can deal with one monster as well.
Right.
Like if I was trying to fuse, he could banish it and stuff like that. So I pendulum 1 on purpose just to make him question the strike. Because if I pendulum 4, he'd like strike straight away.
Yeah,
like
of course,
there's no
of course,
question.
yeah.
And he thought about it for a while, and then he said okay on the pendulum summon. And then
You played
I was like,
Shinzo.
okay, and then I just
Shinzo, and we're like, wow, Shinzo
And
in
as soon as
2016.
exactly.
Finally, yeah. So that must have felt good for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah, it's getting the Jinza. Because at game 1, I think he was quite dominant. and,
Absolutely, yeah.
I was happy to go first game 2, and then even going second game 3. I just hope he didn't open Swap Frog. And,
Right, yeah. There was a bit of discussion that he was always opening with Swap Frog,
Mhm.
but as far as I could tell, you were the one shuffling his deck.
Yeah.
Just so-
I never have any issues with that.
Yeah,
He's-
no, I'm not
yeah.
saying that. It's just because people, for some reason, people assume things.
Yeah.
We saw that, and I was actually paying attention, very close attention, in the second and the third game after people said, "Oh, he opened with Swap Frog," and
Yeah.
it was you who shuffled his deck.
Yeah, and
I don't think it's in your interest to shuffle it to the top.
exactly. But we worked out like ratios of the
Mhm.
deck, so he's playing a slightly different build. And when we worked out consistency and build-wise, we worked out that generally the amount of monsters he plays, he should open one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be Swap Frog, it may be something else which can get him Swap Frog, etc.
Right.
So it happened to be Swap Frog in game 1 too, but then game 3 he didn't open it, which
Right.
was good for me.
All right, Imran. We
Yeah.
only saw the third game for you guys. You were going Blue Eyes White Dragon versus
Metal
Metal
Foe.
Foes. Yeah. How did that go?
It went quite well. First game, he opened and had a pretty solid opening with... oh, no. Actually, he only had Void Orgel
Uh-huh.
plus Alcahest, because he made some mistakes with his pendulum scales and
Okay.
had only one scale for some
That's-
reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
Then,
reasons.
Yeah. And on my turn, I bricked very hard with the deck. Activated, drew like 2 Pot of Dualities and 2 Dragon Shrine,
Okay.
which isn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I lost the first game.
Mm-hmm.
On the second game, I decided to...
Was
yeah.
there some cards that you exchanged between main and side deck to better combat that deck?
Yeah, I sided in 3 copies of Magical Spring.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
We saw that card.
yeah.
Yeah. We were like,
This-
oh, how is this happening?
this card completely shuts down Metal Foes,
Mhm.
because they can't pop the scales to set their cards, and you get draws to make your deck more consistent.
Right. We haven't seen that card that many times. You seem to be a fan of it. You would recommend it?
In my opinion, it's only good in decks like Blue Eyes or maybe ABC, because these are decks where you need to discard cards from your hand. Yeah.
And then you don't mind if they
Yeah.
end up in the graveyard. Okay, so second game, you now need to come back. You're 1 game down.
Yeah, I started quite well with Silver. So I had first turn with Synchro Monster with Spirit Ring, I guess
Uh-huh.
its name is. And in the end phase of the stone, I had a Dragon Spirit of White
Right.
and 1 back row, and he was like, yeah, take that Lava Golem. Tributed both monsters.
Just to recap, you guys were playing on table 12. Yeah, just if anybody's asking. Yeah, Lava Golem on table 12. Interesting technique.
Yeah. And then he had some pendulum scales, but I had the Phoenix Wing Blast to put his last scale on the top,
Right.
and then next turn I could come back and win the game.
That was pretty much it. Okay. How did you feel about moving over from that other table into the feature match area? Is it a big disturbance or was it okay?
No, it was okay in my opinion.
You guys liked being on the stream?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Going back to you. What was your expectation going into the weekend? Did you think you would do as well as you're doing right now?
I hoped that I would do this well. I worked quite hard on my list, and I've been playing this deck for a while, so I've worked with different variants, and came into this weekend. There was a few choices, but because I've played so much with Metalfo, I thought it'd be the correct choice.
Right. Because especially when you consider there's so many rounds over the course of 2 days, you want to know your deck inside out.
Yeah, exactly. Consistency, and I knew the frog decks and stuff would be
Was there another deck that you considered playing?
Well, there was a point where I considered frogs as well, just because of it's good going first and second and stuff like that. But because of the other YCS where I did quite well, I thought people would side heavily for it, as I have done. And I thought that maybe playing with metal forwards, and you might lose game 1, but game 2 and 3 you can. You might be.
Raphael Nevin put it this way: it's a very interesting format. There are 3 decks, and you always have to decide what cards you're losing to. If you're losing to the anti-spell fragrance or a Jinzo, and it's just picking your poison, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Imran, you went with. It's not exactly a rogue deck. It's not exactly like one of those decks where everybody's like, oh, why are you playing this? But it's not considered tier 1 at the moment. Why did you go with Blue Eyes Red Dragon?
Actually, I played Blue Eyes because, in my opinion, it has a very good Metalfo matchup because of Spirit Dragon, so that your opponent can only pendulum summon 1 monster at the time. And also, it has a very good matchup against Paleozoic frogs, because they can't deal with your big monsters, and you banish their spell and traps every turn with your Dragon Spirit.
Right.
And also, after siding, you can easily side Denko Sekka.
Yeah, that brings me to a question. Why did you not play with Denko Sekka? We were super confused. We were like, this looks like a situation for Denko Sekka.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then I thought if he makes Alcahest, he could not take any of my monsters. And so I had the Maxi in the hand, and I wanted to draw some cards.
Right.
And I got the barrier in my back as well, so if I had summoned Denko Sekka, I wouldn't have been able to set the barrier. So the barrier would have been made game if the Alcay didn't.
We were at some point we were arguing and thinking, are you not doing this to troll your opponent and win in time? But no, there was a pretty big strategy. Would you agree with that strategy? Now let's put you guys against each other.
Yeah, I would, because end of the day, because of Denko Sekka, with only having 1700 attack, there could be any point where you could drop like a Silvered or a Gold Driver and attack over it. And it depends on the scales. I wasn't sure what the scales were.
Right.
But I think loads of people make a calculated decision. Sometimes the obvious play is not necessarily the correct play. And he probably felt that, all right, he can't kill me because Alcast will be in defense. It just gains defense. So if I draw more cards, then next turn will be more advantageous.
So it's very cool to hear from both of you. So he just said he thinks Blue Eyes White Dragon's got a good matchup against Metal Foes. Would you agree?
I would agree.
You okay?
I think if Blue Eyes goes first, open Spirit Dragon, and you're unable to deal with it, it can make things very difficult.
Right.
But Metal Foes going first, I think consistency-wise, it may have a pretty good matchup, and the hidden arsenals in my list, I think, will help me.
All right. Okay, so now we've heard it. It seems like game 1 would be favoring you if you guys were being paired against each other, but then it's anybody's games 2 and 3.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the day. We're pretty certain we're definitely going to see you tomorrow after that 6-0 start into the day. That's good news for you. You can take it a little bit more relaxed, but possibly not too relaxed, I guess. Still want to get that really good result on day 1, so you can, even if you drop a game on second day, you still can go to the top 64. All right, thank you so much, guys. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Thanks.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed the second feature match after the first feature match, even if it got confusing for some of you. When you asked, is this live? Yes, it was live. We had another feature match for the round. We're going to be back. It's 37 minutes into overtime for the main event. We have roughly 40 minutes in between rounds, so there's a very good chance that we're going to be back very soon for round 7 of day 1 of the largest European Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament of all time, YCS Bochum 2016.